Go ahead, John.
Cool.
Yeah. Hey, Matt, how are you?
I'm good.
Good. Tell us about Nebraska, and are they a tougher scout in the Big Ten because they have a different roster every year?
Yeah. I think they have some unique players. I think that's why they're tough. Like, Teddy Allen can really score, in a variety of ways. Banton is, such a long point guard that can pass, get to the rim, make threes. So I would say that's more. Trey McGowan is very athletic and can score the basketball also. So just trying to, be able to be there with those guys, but also have good team defense and just not get behind plays. They do a good job of really kind of manipulating the defense with some of their actions and getting you behind plays. So I would say more than anything, that is it. Obviously, he doesn't want to do that, but when you're starting a program,
right,
you do what you have to do to get rolling and get going. But yeah, that's going to, be the issue for us is really their personnel and the guys that they have and their ability to score.
You seemed pretty positive after the Illinois game. Did you take anything from those first three road games against three really tough opponents that kind of lead you to believe your team's kind of moving in the right direction and things are going to,
Yeah, there's some good things, but as a coach, like you prepare and then you go out and compete, to win the game. And when you don't, you can look at some things as silver linings, but you still have to look at the big picture of it's not good enough. You didn't win the game. And so I think for us, there's a lot of things out there where Purdue fights Purdue, and we just have to be better in those areas. It's if you're scoring on us and we're not breaking down as a coach, like you don't like it, but you can live with it. But when you're breaking down and they're just taking advantage of your breakdowns and they're capitalizing on it, those are the ones that you want back. You want those possessions back. We have too many of those possessions, and obviously the game was closer because they missed free throws too. So you got to take that into it. The game wasn't as close in terms of what was being played. Now, free throws do matter, and it is a part of the game. So you have to – but in the actual playing, they still were, had an advantage on us, even though we put ourselves in a really good position with that run in the game. Then we didn't capitalize on it. We beat ourselves. We had illegal screens. We threw no-look passes that were pick sixes. I mean, just, you have to be able to – get a quality shot in those stretches. You got to get a quality shot no matter what. And then when you just come up empty-handed, they're going to eventually score. You go on a 19-0 run. I mean, they're a good team. They have two guys that could be All-Americans. They have two guys that could be first-team All-League. They have good players too. They're not the only two good players. So they're going to end up making some plays, but you just can't give them the ball back without getting a quality shot. You take quality shots and you don't make them, that's frustrating because, you got a good one and you missed it. But you're still, getting cracks at things. And normally when you take better shots, you have a better chance to rebound and you got a better chance to set your Ds. There's things that come along with good decisions and good shots that can help you, even though you might not get that initial reward because the ball didn't go in.
What does Eric have to do to get on track, you think, based on what you've seen the last couple of games?
Play better. There's no secret. Play better.
What's the key to him playing better?
Making better decisions. Make better decisions. Just impose your will on the game. Sometimes when the game's not going for you, just do other things and just get yourself going. And it's not like he's not trying. He's trying. He's just got you just get yourself in the game, man. Get on the floor, get a loose ball, get a layup before you take a jumper, whatever it might be. He's experienced things like it hasn't all been seashells and rainbows for him. You play 2 to 3 years in college basketball. Everybody goes through some tough periods. He's been through tough periods and he's gotten out of it before, and he'll get out of this. So he wants Purdue to win, and I know that. And he just needs to keep plugging, not overthink it, keep working, and good things will happen for him.
I know your rotation's pretty set here, but wanted to check: is Manny available right now?
No, he's not. I mean, he was in practice for a while, then he had to be out of practice for a little bit, and now he's coming back to do some things. But he missed, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 days. I don't even know how many days.
All the same stuff from before.
Yes, yeah, he just had some checkup type stuff. He was feeling again, through his chest. And so when that happened, we were not going to, put him at risk at all. So we just backed up for about, like I said, 3-4 days. I don't know the actual amount of time. And just had Doc look him over and stuff. So that's where he is.
Right. Jaden and Ethan, I know you probably want to get those guys maybe a little bit of success, a little bit of, perhaps more playing time, or however you term it. Where do you feel like those guys are right now and whatnot? And
well, it's
what do you see for them moving forward?
Yeah, we put Ethan in early just to get that rotation. I didn't want to play Ethan when Illinois was big, and so just trying to keep him there. Like with those guys, even though it doesn't always work, to not give them like 8 minutes and they play 3 different rotations, or 6 minutes and like they're in there for 2 to 3 minutes. And sometimes it's hard because when you're going in, somebody else can sub in for you. So it's not always going to work to the way you actually want it for each individual person. You got to make what's best decision for the game. But, I played him extended minutes, there. As I get into the second half, I don't normally just keep playing 10 guys. Mm-hmm. Before it was with me, I would do it with 9. I'd have a tough time getting to 8. I shouldn't say getting 8. Just, I have a tough time, pushing back to 9, and I normally stay with 8. So, just trying to get a flow. Some of the things that he now goes through in that game are a lot of the things that you go through when you start the season. And so as a coach, you're trying to feel your way through it and just trying to you just want some positive play. And sometimes it's not even your fault to like why your team struggled while you were in. You are 20% of your team while you're out there in terms of playing. There's the 4 other guys. And, you have to shoot the ball the first time you get an opportunity all the time, unless you're just wide open or it's just an unbelievable situation and scenario that benefits us. And you just didn't do that. You just get off to a bad start. A lot of young guys in Jaden is this way. They live through their scoring. That's how they've played through the years. And, you have to live through making the right play and making the right decisions offensively and defensively, and then build on that and feel good about that. And so he just never really got on track in the game. So then it kind of snowballs from there, and you get a little bit frustrated. And so you just got to be able to work through some of those things with it. But, obviously both of them are good players. They're going to have good careers here, and just trying to, for all of us, me included, just kind of figure things out and what's best for our team.
I'm good. Thank you, Matt.
Yeah.
Marvin. Is Aaron Wheeler a guy now that is not playing through his offense as much as he was maybe earlier in his career? And has he adjusted to doing some other things? Well,
I thought he didn't play much at Rutgers. Didn't play well at Rutgers. Didn't play much. Put in Ethan obviously before him, and I explained why. But it's still part of it was some of his struggles, and that's a hard thing to do. And so he could have stuck his head in the sand, but he was ready when he got his opportunity. I thought the offensive rebounds he got on those free throws were big plays for us that created extra possessions. Obviously, the 3 that he hit at the end of the half, obviously he hits another 3 in the second half. But he just, he let things come to him. He played hard. He got us some extra possessions right there. And those are things that are now going to help him. Like that's what you want to be able to get, through a course of a game. Like, things can change for you when you play that way, for 3, 4, 5 games in a row. Like you just have to have that consistency. And that's what we're looking for, from him, from everybody. People don't realize this. Like a lot of times people will talk and like they want to know, like, why did you do this or why did you do that? When players are inconsistent, coaches don't know what the hell to do. That's just a fact. That's just the way it is. Like what you want to get is consistent play. So as an individual, you have to learn, like I got some guys out there that I'm playing because of their talent, but I don't play them long because they're not that productive. Like you want to become the guy that's productive And you can, like, when people say, hey, we can count on him, we know what we're getting, that's what you want. That's what you want to strive for as a player. You want to be able to get to where it's like you can play without turning the ball over. You know your defensive assignment, and you're going to lay it on the line and compete. To just start with that foundation right there. And when you do those things and you keep it simple, now your minutes are going to grow. And then your team's going to get better because now we're not, you're just not a talented dude. Like, you're a productive player. You're helping your team win. Like, those are winning ways. And I thought Aaron did some good things for us, helped his cause. And we'll see with this lineup here, because they put a lot of different lineups out there. And I think Aaron can really help us. I think he can help us with his length. I think he can help us defensively. But he needs to keep things simple. Mason needs to keep things simple. Those two freshmen that you talked about need to keep things simple. Zach needs to keep things simple. You can go on and on for our team. Eric Hunter needs to keep things simple. Travion, everybody. The game's a simple game. Like, we're trying to do too much at times. Like, execute, do what you're supposed to do, run our stuff. And you get an angle or you get a situation, man, be aggressive. Be aggressive. Like, we've shown as a staff, like, the aggressiveness, especially in transition, especially with guys, that are consistent shooters. Like, let's have some fun out here. And as we can start to do our job and be consistent in that area, I think that'll raise, just the kind of the life of our team, the energy of our team. And it'll be a lot more fun to play because we're going to win more basketball games.
Hey, just wanted to ask with just your thoughts on the NCAA tournament coming to Mackey, and kind of what's that mean for you and your program. I have no idea if you make the tournament, if you could play there, right, or whatever, but just Mackey hosting the NCAA tournament.
I'll be excited if they play it on the moon and we're in it. Like, I'll be excited. I want to play in the NCAA tournament. I don't care. I'm glad they're playing at a Mackey Arena and Assembly Hall in Indianapolis. Good gravy. Good for them. Like, that's great for our state. Our state's unbelievable. And the fans, they'll go crazy. But I want Purdue to be in it. I'm Purdue's coach. Like, let's get in it ourselves, and let's play better and have some fun, because that's what we're doing. We're sacrificing a lot here. Everybody across the country is, but let's make these sacrifices so at the end of the day we can be in, one of the most special events in the country.
All righty, thank you.
Yep.
Dakota?
Yeah, I was just going to ask about the NCAA tournament as well, but you kind of mentioned it. What does it mean just for the state of Indiana? Obviously, I know you want to be in the NCAA tournament. That's your job. But what does it mean, and what does it say about basketball in this state?
Well, obviously, they're keeping it, here and playing in Indianapolis. And obviously, those are some great venues to play in. So it's cool. Our fans will embrace it, but just no different than, like, the first four at Dayton. Like, Dayton, Ohio's got great fans. Like, those they've been outstanding in what they've been able to do for the NCAA tournament. So I think we have a lot of places around the country that would embrace the situation we got here in the state. So we're, I think we should be pretty fortunate and grateful that this landed in our lap.
Last thing for me, can you just talk about locally the basketball fans in Greater Lafayette? Obviously, they come out and support you guys a lot throughout the year, but just for them to be able to maybe witness, a bunch of other elite teams play here and whatever the rounds are, the first round at Mackey Arena, can you talk about that?
Oh, that'd be cool. Like, we go a lot of places, and then, like, they jump on board with the underdog if the games get close late in the game. You see that across the country because you have a lot of neutral fans at those sites. And, I think our fans will be great in those scenarios. I think that'd be fantastic. If that's the case, they're playing those games in front of fans. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. But if that happens and our fans are here, they'll jump on board. I don't know who they're always going to root for, but most of those fans that are neutral like that, they normally jump on board the underdog, or they jump on board with the team that's been down during the game that makes that comeback. And it's a pretty cool experience. Sometimes it's a little surreal when you're on the back end of it, but it's a pretty cool experience just to hear the crowd with the oohs and the ahs, with the ups and the downs of a game.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.